Good morning Year 3, here's the input for lesson 5 of your maths work today, but first we'll start with our times tables, starting with our 4s. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, and then we would have 48. And then our 8 times tables, 0, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, and then we would have 96. You can look back at the video at these times tables and it will really help you with your maths work today if you struggle. Okay, so our in focus task. This is how Hannah did 47 times 4. Is she correct? So it's a little bit different to the method that we used yesterday, and if you can see here, Hannah has carried 2 tens over into her tens column. Have a think if you think that's the correct way to do it. Okay, so another method that we can use is the one that Hannah's used. So we start always, as you can see here, we always start with our ones column. So Hannah's done 7 times 4 to begin with, and we know that if we count and go back to our 4 times table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we know that 4 times 7 would be 28. Okay, so here, Hannah's put 8 in her ones column and she's carried over 2 tens into the tens column like we used to do when we were using column addition and subtraction. So she's put the 8 in her ones column and carried 2 tens over. So now Hannah's going to do her tens. So she's going to do 4 tens times 4. And we know that 4 times 4 is 16. So 4 tens times 4 would be 16 tens. But here, Hannah's put 18. That's because, like we do when we're using column addition, she needs to add those extra 2 tens to her answer. And then that would give Hannah a total of 188. And then we've got another one. Use Hannah's method to find the product of 23 and 8. If it asks you to find the product of something, it's just asking to times the number. It's just using a different word. Okay, so here we've got 3 times 8. And we know if we count in our 8s, we get 24, but we're going to double check it. 8, 16, 24. 3 times 8 would be 24, but again, 4 ones goes in our ones column, and the 2 tens have been carried over into the tens column. And then that will help us do 2 tens times 8, which we know 2 times 8 would be 16, so 2 tens times 8 would be 16 tens. But then it's really important that we remember to add those 2 tens that have been carried over, which would then give us 18 tens, giving a total of 184. So the method today is slightly different from yesterday, so we're going to try our best. We've got one here to try. We've got 33 times 4. Again, if you struggle with your times tables, you can go back to those number lines to help you, or you can draw some arrays. So I can do 4 circles, and then I can go 3 across on each row. And I know if I count all those spots that I will have 12, 4, 8, 12. So I know that 3 times 4 is 12. But I'm only going to put my 2 ones in my ones column and then carry over my 110 into my tens column. And then I'm going to do 3 tens times 4. If I know 3 times 4 is 12, I know that 3 tens times 4 is going to be 12 tens. But I need to add this 110 that I've carried over, which would give me 13 tens. So 33 times 4 would be 132. Try one more. So we will do 34 times 8. Again, you can use your 4 times table or your 8 times table, looking back at those number lines. So I know that 4 times 8 would be 32. I'm going to put my 2 in my ones column, and carry over 3 tens because 4 times 8 is 32. Then I'm going to do 3 tens times 8. If I know 3 times 8 is 24, I know that 3 tens times 8 would be 24 tens. Add my 3 tens up here, which would give me 27 tens. So 34 times 8 would be 272. Before you go into your workbook, you can have a go at your guided practice as a little bit extra support. Remember, if it asks you in your workbook to find the product, you are just multiplying.